"66% of college dropouts are from low-income and underdeveloped communities." 66%. According to the U.S. Department of Education, students from low-income and underdeveloped communities, which are majority Black and Hispanic students, make up most of the college dropouts in the last 10 years or more. You know what's funny? I'm actually Black and Hispanic, and I'm standing here today to tell the truth. The truth is, numbers are important. I'm a research scholar, and numbers don't lie. A study conducted at the University of Minnesota showed that 61% of students in wealthier families and established communities enroll in college at a 22% higher rate. So that's about 2 million Black and Hispanic students who don't enroll a year. Why aren't they enrolling? Why aren't these pockets of students going to college? Well, aside from the financial limitations, it is something called academic disqualification. This means that a student has failed to meet the standard qualifications for academic performance and progress, leaving them disqualified for admissions or registration. Crazy, huh? But you know what's even crazier? Most people tend to use information like this to assume that students from low-income communities don't value their education or just flat out lazy. This is the definition of a stereotype. I know this because I live it. I live it each and every day. As a young Black and Hispanic woman living in a low-income community and raised by a single immigrant mother, the odds were automatically stacked against me from the start. Growing up, I'll admit, I was fortunate enough to attend a private school in a well-established and financially stable area. I spent 7 years at that school and even graduated salutatorian of the class of 2017 with numerous college acceptance offers and thousands of dollars in scholarships. And thus, I decided to attend FFC. SUNY Farmingdale State College. Now, I'd like to think I'm a hard worker. I dedicate myself to my academics and my work in general. This fall, I started my last year, my senior year. And over the past 3 years I spent at FSC, I've had the pleasure of receiving many awards, honors, and achievements. You know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but it's a bit of a long list, so I'm not gonna bore you with it, Newman Civic Fellow. But despite all the accomplishments, all the awards and research and internships, despite all the opportunities and hard work, I sometimes ask myself, how can someone like me, this Afro-Latinx from the hood, up here wearing my hoops and everything, have all of this? How can someone like me have all these opportunities and even get the chance to experience all these things? Now, some would say this sounds like a related case of imposter syndrome or imposter phenomenon, which has been known to have a greater effect commonly on Black, Hispanic, and Asian college students, and women in professional careers. But why is that? Why is it that I question myself, doubt myself even? It's because since I was a young girl, society has shown me time and time again that people who live in communities like me, have financial statuses like me, who look like me, who have the same or similar ethnicities like mine, have been dealt the underhand, among other things, more times than not. But I didn't realize just how far the societal view extended to until I first-handedly experienced it myself. See, apparently, not only did I question my potential, but others did as well. Professionally, my accomplishments have been a see it to believe it type of ordeal. It isn't until they see my transcript or my resume or someone vouching for me, overall hard proof that they're 100% convinced. But even then, sometimes it's just not enough. However, it wasn't until I had one encounter that really put things into perspective for me, and to be quite honest, became the driving force that set my desire to speak and address this topic. Since I was in high school, I always had people congratulate me, praise my success, tell me I'm doing a great job and all that. But for every congratulatory remark I received remarks like, wow, really? You? And then they would say, oh, so you must be really smart then, or something along the lines of that. Now, of course, I just brushed it off and think nothing of it. And I thought that this was just a phase, or my accomplishments were something they didn't expect from somebody as young as me who wasn't even in college yet. Then I got to college. And I didn't hear that small little remark anymore. And I thought, finally, that was the end of it. Boy, let me tell you how wrong I was. Once in my junior year, I had someone tell me I was doing really well for myself. I was excelling in all of my classes, receiving numerous awards and honors, presenting at research conferences. But then they continued along the lines of, you are doing really well for yourself, because statistically, you're not supposed to be where you are today, academically and professionally. I know, it's a tough world we live in. It's tough. Now, my initial thought in my mind was, ouch, like, have you heard of microaggression? Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I gotta take off these hoops right now. But I'd be lying if I said that as a really sensitive person, I wasn't a bit hurt, shocked, maybe even surprised. You see, statistically, as a minority in a low-income community, I was supposed to drop out of school. Statistically, I wasn't supposed to make it past freshman year. Statistically, I wasn't supposed to graduate high school with a substantially high GPA or at all. But I did. I did it. I defied the statistics. I beat the odds. Me. At that very moment in time, from that specific encounter, that very well could have been where my story stopped, where I could have easily allowed that one moment to discourage me enough to stop all the hard work I put in. Because it probably would have been much easier than going through another experience like this. But instead of discouraging me, it gave me a new voice, a different perception of myself I didn't know existed. You see, for thousands of years, things have been systematically placed in favor of everyone but those who need it and benefit from it the most. So I'm here to say that no matter what may be assumed about you, what is thought about you, a stereotype, a statistic, a status, a label, that does not defy your potential in life. Granted, can it still hinder you, limit you, make things a bit more difficult for you, set you back a bit? Of course it can. But what is life without obstacles to help you learn, grow, adapt, and overcome? What you are capable of, that can only be determined by one person. You. Who you are and what you can bring to the table. Okay, great. I've been talking to you for about however many minutes, and that's great, really, it's wonderful, perfect. But what's the takeaway? What can you do as soon as you walk out those doors or exit this video and start affecting change? Now, this tends to be the hard part, but it doesn't have to be. So I'm gonna introduce you to my 4-step process. So for the me's of the world, the ones just starting out, here's what you can do. Apply yourself. Take advantage of your opportunities. Apply for that internship. Take part in that research study. Write that book. Take action in building the future you see for yourself. As a mentor of mine always says, you must begin with the end in mind. Don't rule yourself out. What stops us the most from getting to that place we want to be or just getting there at all is our constant self-doubt. Don't automatically rule yourself out of the game just because you think you may not get it or it may not go your way. Connect and network. Now this is key and essential. One of my favorite words is network. By applying yourself and putting yourself out there, you start to get to know people, make a name for yourself. Now this can range from your friends, your professors, your coworkers, etc. Remember, sometimes it's not just about what you know, but who you know as well. Take care of yourself. We can get so caught up in the daily grind of school, work, and just life in general. Enjoy the moments life has to offer you, but be mindful of your time, your talent, and your gifts. You are only one person, and while you can do anything you set your mind to, really anything, not everything has to be done all at once. And now for the oh wowers and the statistically people of the world, for the ones who doubt us. You play a part in this as well, and there's a big chance you're unaware of that. So here's what you can do to support us, the ones just starting out. Get to know us. Talk to us, learn a bit about us. You get to know us as students or the younger generation. Don't be afraid to get to know us as young adults, as people. More times than not, we are simply looking for someone to talk to connect with, a mentor even. Suggest or provide us opportunities. As you get to know us, you tend to find out what we like, how we operate, our work ethic, our goals, our aspirations, our mindsets. If positions, internships, opportunities come up that you think that we could benefit from or that we would be good in, don't hesitate to send it our way. Keep us in mind. Just the idea of you thinking about us for anything that could propel us into our career and bring us one step closer to our goal means everything. Not only that, but it provides us mental support because it reminds us that we're not in this alone and that we have someone looking out for us. Be a voice of reason. Remember, despite all that we may do and all that we may want to do, it is incredibly easy for us to get caught up in the work. Sometimes we need a voice to help us realize how to work efficiently and not burn ourselves out. Now, this could be asking for help. This could be taking on different projects at later times, reorganizing, reprioritizing what we need to do. Now, I'm no psychologist or therapist. Hell, I don't even got my degree yet. Nor am I trying to dictate or tell you how to live your life. I'm just simply telling the truth, my truth. My experiences, my failures, my success have all led me up to this moment. The moment where I get to stand here and speak to you all and tell you that this is just the beginning, the starting line. Granted, I've still got a long way to go. But that's the beauty of remembering who you are, what you're capable of, and what you can bring to the table. You contribute to breaking barriers, defying the odds. And who knows? Maybe you can find yourself on a TEDx stage, inspiring the next wave of leaders to speak their truth. Thank you.